So we've got our Flash Gordon machine, our cabinet. We've got the head drying over in the corner, and now we're ready to begin the process of putting the black stencils, or the first stencils to go on the head. Now, in order to do that, it's important to note that the front stencil needs to go on first before applying any of the side stencils. And the reason for that is the way that the wraparound works for the other stencils. So what I'll be doing here is measuring up the cabinet here, trying to get the edges as good as possible, holding this down, and then redoing the stencil process. I do also want to note, I put in a piece of cardboard where the coin door goes, just so that the stencil won't sag when I have this big, large opening and I need to cut it. So, just important to note. Some people will do a little more fancier thing. I just overcut a size of cardboard and then make sure it's nice and taut so it doesn't fall out. All right, here we go. So same process as always, except this time when I use my paint can, I don't want to set it on the the cardboard because it will pop out. Just line these up. Again, we've got some corner registrations here just to help line up the corner. Feel pretty good about that. Grab my tools that I need. Stuck there to the bring that down. I honestly don't need to be as careful with this stencil. This stencil does not have any real design. Really, on the flash board on the black side, it's just color blocking the front. So not really as concerned about the intricate detail like we had on the head. This one is a little bit easier to do. Switch hands. So like I said, this one's pretty easy. Really not a lot to do on the front, but still want to take my time, make sure that I get it appropriately. Okay, I really don't need to keep these corner stickers here, but I'm just for kicks and giggles, I'll leave them on for now. Careful. This is a little bit of a tricky spot here because really this where the coin door is, it's really just a flap that has no true it's not really sticking anywhere. So you see it wants to ripple a little bit. Go. So just double checking here. I'm really concerned about not leaving this large flap for painting. So what I'm going to do, since it doesn't necessarily line up very well, is I'm just going to cut it out. Or at least cut it in. There. All right, so not very exciting, but the front is done. Again, basically I'm just color blocking off at the specific area for black. So when I do the gold or yellow, that'll be much more intricate on the front, but I won't do that until after I get the black done. Okay, let's turn this on its side and let's do one of the side panels. Okay, now we're going to do the right side of the cabinet. So if you follow the video so far, it's basically rinse and repeat. So at this point, I'm going to do this side, flip it over, do the other side, and then we'll get ready for spray paint. One top tip that I've seen is when you're going to line this up, always try to line at the bottom of the cabinet pushing forward. Remember, you're going to have that side rail. It's going to be down. So if there's a problem where there's a goof, it's going to be under the side rail. So always try to start at the bottom of the cabinet, get it as lined as possible, and then work up from there. Feel pretty good about that. Get all my tools close to me again. although there's not going to be any stencil down here, you still want to make sure you get that transfer paper down. That's going to be important for the hinge once we pull the rest of it back. I want to be careful here that I don't pull the star off the transfer paper. We're going to pause there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That could have been bad. So what happens when you don't leave enough tension on there, you're getting yourself in a bad spot. When you don't put your tools close to where you're working. Go. All right, and there is one side ready to go. Now, one thing I do want to note here, you can see, if it's maybe hard to tell, in fact, pull the camera over. You can see here, you know, the stencil didn't necessarily line up appropriately, but what I know here is this is supposed to be red. So what I'll do is I will take some green tape and mask this off before I spray. Other than that, I think everything went pretty well. Again, there's, you know, same here with this line, but it's a lot even. You can see here we're pretty well matched up in terms of the right area and size. So that side done. Let's do the other side. All right, and there is one completed stenciled cabinet. Now all I gotta do is put this back up on my dolly and start to spray. All right, we can see Flash Gordon has now been sprayed black. Important note here, you know, where you have the stencil, you want to spray up and through the stencil line, but you don't need to really spray the entire cabinet. So just spraying all that extra stencil, it's not helpful at all. So I've got that sprayed now, everything looks good. Now I have to wait for the drying time, and then from there I'll be able to remove the stencil and let this dry completely. And there we go. So, little small issues here and there, but nothing that is a big issue. I'm very pleased with the turnout, very pleased with how it looks. All in all, I am very happy with the results so far. So again, what I'm going to be doing is letting this dry for the next probably 4 or 5 days. And again, that's because I'm heading out of town again and going to be closing out this video here as part 1. We'll come back here, we're going to do the yellow next, and then I'll think about or talk to a friend of mine to see if I want to add any type of clear top coat to this. So with that, that's going to be in the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.